Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of What Does the Cat Say? Besides, bleh. Yeah, now I've been feeling a little under the weather. Just had a stroke, and the household doggo is looking at me like, "What the hell just happened to you?" It's been a hot minute. Been a couple weeks. Hope everybody has been doing well. Everybody's doing okay. It is turning into spooky Halloween season here in my neck of the woods. Yeah, so some important life updates. Biggest one is I now have a full-time job. Not really something I want to do, but it is something for now. While I look for better paying and more in line with what I would like to do, IRL, and stuff. So there's that. But it has created a major change in my streaming schedule. Primarily now I'm streaming 2 days a week. That's the biggest thing. Is that because I'm going to be doing a second shift 2 to 10 full-time stream or job, my capabilities to stream as I have are gone. Mainly because most of my viewers seem to definitely show up when I do a starting around like 7 p.m. Eastern time stream. So I don't want to prevent them from missing out on anything by starting streams at like 11 o'clock at night or midnight. Plus, I'm going to be too tired at those hours to want to do that after a full day of work. So yeah, so unfortunately, going forward, from at least the time of this podcast, I'm going to be streaming Saturdays and Sundays. Doc keeps looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? But so that's the big thing. Yeah, I've also been unfortunately coming down with a little bit of a cold. Been trying to fight that off. So I probably sound a little off. There might be a ton of pausing in the recording. Coincidentally, just like that. But yeah, other than that, things have been going good. Almost done Silent Hill F. I'm actually so much enjoying the game. I'm loving the lore. So as of last time, I believe when I last talked about this on the podcast, I think I finished the first playthrough and then was going through New Game Plus. So I have completed 2 new endings in New Game Plus. And now I'm doing what's considered the true ending, which is the New Game Plus one where you have to do a 3rd playthrough to get it. So hopefully I get that done this weekend and be excited. And then after that, it's just the goofy ending that I have not triggered yet. So I have to probably just kind of cheatsily research on how to do that, just for the content, and also just to try to be a semi-completionist type thing. Like I said this to my chat the other day. I'm not a big stickler with even games I really like. I'm not a super completionist type thing where if it has multiple endings, where it's something like this where the endings and replay through to get these endings is quite drastic, I'll definitely do them. I don't need to get every achievement under the sun. It's just not my thing, mainly because I also just don't have the time for some of these games to hunt down all the achievements. And I also just don't care to be so hair-pulling out challenged by a game that I'm like, oh, let me go complete this game in the hardest difficulty, getting no hits, blah, blah, blah. I'm looking at you Dark Souls players in games. I just don't care for that. So, if the achievements are manageable in a fun way, then yeah. For Silent Hill F, I don't think I'm going to go for a 100% completionist thing on the achievements, just because some of them do require you to play at the hardest difficulty, which I might just try for shits and giggles, but I'm not going to hurt myself mentally and emotionally in the process. But it's been a fun game, and so excited for that. But with that, though, since my stream schedule is going to be reduced to 2 days a week, I kind of need to now really sit down and figure out what I am going to be streaming. Because I think with that few days a week, hardcore variety streaming might have to be thrown out the window. because if I'm only streaming Saturday and Sunday, it could get old if I'm doing a new game every week. Plus, some of these games, because they might take forever, and I don't stream super long, I might try to set myself up to at least, especially on Saturdays, do an 8-hour stream and stuff, and Sundays longer, but it also just wouldn't be fair if I'm doing the same game too for like 3 months. So I'm back. Had to go send dog out of the room because she was not being quiet anymore. And so yeah, like I was saying, I gotta think about what games I like to do. I know that for the most part, one of the streams is going to be dedicated per week to Binding of Isaac because I like that game. I'm terrible at that game, so I might use this as a way to force myself to, you know, air quotes, get good and just finally progress a lot in that game. So that's what I do. I know I'll probably keep Saturdays being something with horror games if I find a horror game that I want to play. So I know like this weekend I want to try to get Silent Hill F finished, so then I can try to maybe do a different rotation of these little smaller, shorter horror games I find. Probably won't always be that way, but that is the goal. Just to try to, one, keep things consistent, because I mean, I know the state of live streaming, gaming, and other content this day and age has changed a lot, because I know about when I started VTubing back in 2020 and then even started streaming back in like 2017, 2018. The environment for streaming was different. At that time, if you were a variety streamer, you were kind of shooting yourself in the foot for growth because people were specifically watching streamers. Oh shit, sorry. Smacked my mic. We're specifically watching streamers for X or Y content, and that was really it. And I've experienced this myself where I'd play a game once, gain a few followers who were following me because I'm playing X or Y game, and then I don't go back to the game and they never show face again. So I kind of want that one or like game, which so far I believe is going to be Binding of Isaac. Potentially also might be Zenless Zone Zero because I did just reinstall that on my computer. Could be those two games that are the consistent ones I play. So the fans of that game who like to watch people play that game, you know, will come by and stuff and see that. Though, of course, nowadays people are more catching streams for the streamer, not so much the content they are streaming, which makes variety streaming now much more of a lucrative path. Of course, my take always was do whatever you like. Because especially with this amount of people who stream and stuff, I think the best thing that can make you stand out is just enjoying what you stream. Because I've done it before too, where I'll play games and stream that I can't do. I don't like them, and it just makes for a less fun experience. Plus, with how many people are streaming, if you were to try to sit there and hyper analyze and try to, I guess, min-max your viewership by picking certain games that will get you the most viewers and less competition, or do the whole min-max like metrics thing of trying to stream at certain times so you're not streaming for, you know, because X person, Y person, Z person, L person, Q person is streaming, or certain stream times are less like competitive. I don't know. I say, in my opinion, if you're gonna do that, never stream. It sounds awful, but it's just like with this current state, you're gonna find that if you try to, like, unless you find a new time zone that doesn't exist, with just how many people are constantly streaming on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, etc. There is like, I mean, yes, there are times that could be a little better, may have a little less people streaming at that time, but with just how many people are streaming around the clock, 24/7, if you tried to sit there and dictate your stream schedule and what you stream based on what other people are doing, you're gonna find that the most optimal time to stream is never. Because there's always, as of right now, unless you're literally like Iron Mouse or you're like one of these other like top streamers, like unless you're one of them, there's always gonna be somebody you're competing against, like for the pool of viewers of categories or times slots and so on. But that's a little side tangent thing I was talking about to streamers. It really is just do what's best for you. I've learned this the hard way myself. Is like just do what works for you. Because the biggest thing with growing on Twitch, as another little side tangent, I think right now is consistency. Um, best example or metaphor I saw, not really metaphor, but I guess like, best mentality to have for your streams that I was looked up and saw is treat your streams as though you are a TV show. And that is, you want to try to consistently have, yourself streaming on certain days at certain times, because if people want to catch you and they know when to catch you, they will schedule the time to see it. Almost like a TV show or anime episode coming out. If they know, hey, the next episode of Uma Musume Cinderella Grey Part 2 is coming out on, I don't know, actually I don't know when it comes out, say Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern time, and you want to watch it, you're going to make time for it. Same with streamers. So that's kind of the best thing to do. Anyway, back to my thing. And with that, yeah, so I'm going to probably at least consistently do Binding of Isaac, maybe some Zenless Zone Zero, probably put both of those in the same stream, since Binding of Isaac is cool, but I feel like it does get stale unless I'm doing some crazy challenges and runs. After a few hours, it could get stale. Try to keep Saturdays for horror games. Try to get over this cold so I don't have to hack up a lung every 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's the goal there. Nothing else really critical to talk about. I know at the time of recording this, which is October 19th, this weekend was TwitchCon, and once again, Twitch just sucks ass. One of their biggest streamers got assaulted. Borderlands, I think, is actually technically considered now sexual assault, because she literally got hugged, and the dude, I think, was like kissing her neck or whatever, so got sexually assaulted, like, while at a little like meet and greet thing at the con, because Twitch staff sucks ass. They just made fun of her. They literally don't let the literal security guard did jack shit. And the dude's just walking around free. So, yeah, if you are an IRL streamer, especially, and big streamer, and are of the female variety, especially, because unfortunately female streamers get the most creeps. Don't go to a TwitchCon anymore until they actually address this shit properly. Because from what I've seen, just passively, because I'm just tired, boss. I'm tired of seeing all this shit online. Twitch put out a statement that was a blatant lie, and apparently this big streamer, her actual like security team that she normally has been barred from coming to TwitchCon because they do their job. So yeah, that's been something. But yeah, I think with that, I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap up this episode of What Does the Cat Say? Because nothing else really to talk about. So yeah, but those things will be changing, and I'm excited, and to hopefully be fun. And also, it could give me more time to potentially work on some editing. Oh, big thing. I lied. Big announcement. If you are somebody, or you know somebody who needs assistance editing videos, especially right now, because it's the only one service I have up, YouTube Shorts, TikTok videos, Twitch clips, and stuff, I am now on vgen and accepting commissions for video editing services, because I need supplementary income, especially with this. Even though I have a full-time job recently, like I said before, the pay is kinda trash. So there's that. So yeah, pass the word around. Also, I know I've been kind of reaching out to some fellow mutuals and stuff to offer some free services, just because VGen is one of those things where if I wanted to make a service available for, say, example, like a long form video editing, I need an example to put in the portfolio, which I have none. I should probably just go do one of my own. So I might go find like a goofy short game or edit one of my Twitch VODs into being a long form video type thing. And yeah, so there's that. Now, see how that goes and just, be fun and whatnot. But yeah, now with that though, I'll wrap up for tonight. Well, today. And yeah, no, you are all awesome. Again, big shout out and appreciation to everybody just overall who's been supporting me and sticking around for all this chaos. And yeah, hopefully next episode and stuff, this is not too long in the future. It might be a little more sporadic, but it be what it be. But yeah, with that though, you are all awesome. And hopefully I'll see you guys all next time.